When you walk into that store or open that app or mark that slip, pause. That moment is sacred. This is not gambling. This is creation. The world tells you to hope, but hope is uncertainty. What you must carry is knowing, the kind of knowing that doesn't flinch when the odds shout against you, the kind of knowing that says, "It is done." Do not play as one who is waiting to receive. Play as one who already has. When you hold that ticket, feel the coolness of it in your hand and let your mind whisper gently, "This is the one." Not because of luck, but because you chose it in consciousness long before the numbers ever rolled into reality. You must understand this. The numbers are not chosen for you, they are chosen by you through your inner conviction. And that conviction must be silent, calm, unshakable. Do not keep checking. Do not talk about what if. That is the language of doubt. Instead, close your eyes tonight and sleep as the winner. Not the person hoping to win, but the one who already has. Let your body relax in the softness of wealth. Let your breath settle into certainty. Let your mind rest not in desire, but in fulfillment. You are not chasing numbers. You are tuning into a reality where the numbers already align. Hold that ticket like it's your birthright and speak over it. Thank you for choosing me. Not someday, not maybe, but now. You are imprinting the physical with the power of the invisible. And above all, don't visualize the moment of winning. That's just a door. Visualize what's on the other side. See the home, see the travel, see the ease, see the freedom, see your mother smiling, see the people you help, see the joy of walking into a room and knowing everything is taken care of. Because that is where the magic lives. So play, but don't just play the lottery. Play reality. Do not buy the ticket in hope. Buy it as one who already possesses what the world is still waiting to see. This is the secret most overlooked. Hope is passive. It waits. But knowing is active. It creates. When you act from hope, you stand outside of your desire. Admiring it is something distant, fragile, uncertain. But when you act from knowing, you become one with the thing you seek. You collapse the distance between yourself and the outcome. You become the fulfillment of the desire itself. Understand this. There is a great difference between wanting to win and knowing you have won. The former is rooted in lack. It says, "I don't have." The latter is rooted in abundance. It says, "It is already mine." One stems from separation, the other from union. When you walk up to purchase that ticket, your outer world may still look the same, but your inner world must already have shifted. You are no longer a person trying to become rich. You are rich, participating in the ritual of claiming what has already been assigned to you. Oh, most people buy tickets with shaky hands and hopeful hearts. They speak about luck, chance, and odds. They discuss numbers and strategies. But what they do not realize is that the real lottery happens within. It is the state of consciousness you occupy when you make the decision to play. The only number that matters is the frequency you are tuned to. Because reality, as you know it, must reflect back to you the dominant tone of your imagination. So when you choose the numbers, don't scratch the card or tap submit. Do so with quiet confidence. Do not beg, do not wonder, and above all, do not wait. The one who knows does not wait. They live as if the outcome has already been delivered. They do not obsessively check, they do not keep asking, what if? They do not allow their current bank balance to tell them who they are. No, they walk differently. They breathe differently. They treat money differently, not recklessly but freely, because they know it flows in like breath and just as naturally. That you must train yourself to live in the assumption. When the desire is imagined with intensity and accepted as real, then life bends to it. This is the principle few understand. You are not drawing a lucky number. You are aligning with a version of yourself that already has it. That self already exists. It is already done. And when you dwell in that version, when you live from that place, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, the physical must conform. You do not need science. You do not need proof. The world will try to convince you otherwise. It will demand evidence before it allows belief. But you must do the opposite. You must offer belief before the evidence appears. You must walk into the store and feel what it's like to have already received. Smile softly, not because of what may happen, but because of what already has. And in that quiet certainty, something shifts, not in the ticket, but in you. The magic is not in the paper, the magic is in the state. And that state, when faithfully occupied, draws all things into form. You are not reaching forward, you are remembering backward. The moment you say, I am the winner with calm conviction, the world must rearrange itself to mirror your knowing. So do not hope. Hope belongs to those who still doubt. No, it is yours. And live from that knowing. Then watch as the outer reflects the inner. And the numbers obedient to your imagination fall into place. Before the numbers are drawn, before the world can catch up to what you already know, you must dwell in the end. You must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This is not a mental game of pretending. It is a spiritual act of creation. It is the bold declaration that what you desire already is, even if your senses insist otherwise. The world is always lagging behind your inner convictions. What you see with your eyes is simply the echo of what you believed within. So if you desire to win, you must first win in imagination. You must go there not once, not briefly, but often, with vivid emotion and sincerity. You must inhabit that version of yourself that has already received the blessing. Close your eyes and ask, how does it feel to know the numbers matched? Not just the joy in the moment of discovery, but the deep, lasting peace that comes when the burden of lack has fallen away. What would change in your breath, your walk, your posture, your choices? You see, it is not about wishing to win. Wishing is still waiting, but feeling it is real, embracing it without evidence, is the bridge. At night, when the lights are off and the mind is free from distractions, this is your sacred time. Before you fall asleep, surrender to the feeling that you are already the person who has won. Don't reach for it as if it's distant. Sink into it. Let your body relax as one who has nothing more to chase. Let your heart beat with the rhythm of abundance. Let your soul whisper, thank you, not for a future event, but for a reality already here. This is not mere visualization. Visualization is a technique. This is possession. It is not imagining the money arriving. It is being the one who already has it. The distinction is subtle but powerful. When you imagine as though it's coming, you keep it on the horizon. But when you feel it as yours now, you pull it into the present. And the present is the only place manifestation can occur. Speak not of the wind as a hope, but as a memory. It felt so simple. I always knew. Of course it happened. Use the tone of certainty. Let your inner dialogue reflect fulfillment, not lack. And don't be concerned with the outer. The numbers are just symbols, and symbols obey the one who holds the state. You might think the odds are against you, but you are not dealing with chance. You are dealing with law. The law that says whatever you feel to be true will shape itself into form. So the numbers you dwell in the end, you give the universe its command. You say, "This is who I am." And all things begin to shift. But the shift begins with you. Not with the ticket, not with the machine, not with chance, with you. With your inner world, with the assumption you carry into sleep, into conversation, into your breath. So don't wait to feel like a winner. Feel it now, assume it now, be it now. Because what you assume, you create. And when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you draw the unseen into the seen, and the magic begins. Do not obsess over how or when it will happen. The moment you plant the seed, your part is complete. The desire has been set into motion, and the rest is not yours to micromanage. You were never asked to make it happen. You were asked to believe it has already happened. That is the difference between manifesting with power and delaying it with fear. The seed grows in silence and in darkness, not by force, not by constant digging to see if it's sprouting. It grows by surrender. So it is with your desires. Once the feeling has been assumed, once the inner act has been accepted as real, your work is to let go. Let the unseen forces do what they must. Trust that it is working, even if you cannot yet see the evidence. Many delay their manifestations not because they don't want them enough, but because they want them too much. They cling, they chase, they doubt. They question whether it's working. They stare at the calendar wondering if they did enough. But this energy of desperation is not creation. It is resistance. It is trying to force the flower to bloom before it's ready. You must learn the art of detachment. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop controlling. You no longer need to beg the universe for signs. You no longer need to constantly affirm or visualize with anxiety. Instead, you rest in the confidence that it is already yours and that it is making its way to you in perfect time and perfect form. Let go of the how. The human mind will try to solve it, manipulate it, predict it. But you are not the source of the miracle. You are the recipient of it. All things are being arranged behind the curtain, far beyond what you can comprehend. Stay in your state of knowing and trust the unfolding. Let go of the when. Time is an illusion to the creative spirit. What feels like a delay is often a period of alignment. The universe is not ignoring you, it is preparing the exact path for your manifestation to arrive without obstruction. If it seems quiet, it's not empty, it's sacred. Just like the roots that spread underground before the tree breaks the surface. Letting go is not giving up. It is the highest form of faith. It says, I know it is done, and I do not need to interfere. And from that posture of surrender, the manifestation comes, not with effort, but with grace. It may arrive suddenly or softly, but it will come, because it must. Reality cannot withhold what you have already claimed in consciousness. Detach from needing to see it. Instead, feel it. Let the inner feeling be enough. Let the peace that comes from knowing replace the panic of needing. Live your life as though it's already settled. Go about your day with lightness, not waiting but enjoying, not hoping but resting. Let every action carry the quiet energy of one who already possesses what others are still reaching for. You don't have to know the mechanics. You only need to know the truth. What you accept as real in imagination, you would experience in life. So do not dig up your desire with doubt. Water it with trust. Shine the light of calm confidence upon it, and when you least expect it, when you are no longer looking, what you once desired will walk right into your world, drawn by the silent power of your surrender. So detach, not because you don't care, but because you care enough to let it come in its perfect way. And it will come, not through force, but through faith, not through worry, but through rest. Let go. The seed has been planted, and the magic, as always, is already underway. Hold the ticket with reverence, not as a mere slip of paper, not as a random chance tossed into the wind, but as a sacred symbol. This ticket is not lifeless. It is the bridge between your inner world and outer reality. It holds within it the potential for transformation, if you dare to see beyond its appearance. Many clutch a lottery ticket in desperation, hoping it will change their lives. But hope is weak compared to belief. And belief is still a step below knowing. You must rise beyond all three. You must treat the ticket not as something that might work, but as something that has already served its purpose. When you hold it, you are not waiting for your numbers to appear. You are acknowledging the manifestation already complete in the unseen. Speak to the ticket. Yes, speak to it. Words carry vibration, and intention directs power. Speak as one who knows. You are blessed. You are the carrier of wealth. You are the doorway to my answered prayer. Don't speak in fear. Don't speak to convince yourself. Speak because your soul already recognizes the truth. This is not about magic in the traditional sense. It is about energy. Everything is energy. The ticket, your voice, your thoughts, your emotions, all are frequencies in motion. And when you bless the ticket, you tune it to the frequency of abundance. You are not changing the paper. You are impressing your consciousness upon it. You are making it fertile ground for manifestation. Hold it gently, but with confidence. As you touch it, imagine your energy transferring into it. The feeling of wealth, the joy of receiving, the calm knowing that all is well. Imbue it with love. Not attachment, love. Because love does not grasp, love trusts. And trust is what makes the invisible visible. You must remember, the ticket is not the source of your wealth. It is the servant of your assumption. Do not place your power in it. Place your power within and then extend it to the ticket. It is simply the container that will carry what you have already created in imagination. Just as a letter is not the message, it simply delivers it. Most people wait until after the numbers are drawn to assign meaning. But you are not most people. You understand that creation begins in the unseen. You assign meaning now. You give thanks now. You celebrate now, because you have already received. Inwardly, the ticket is the physical echo of an inner act. The harvest of a seed once planted. As you go about your day, carry the ticket not in fear but in faith. Do not check it constantly. Do not beg it to win. That energy speaks of lack. Instead, carry it the way one carries something sacred. With stillness, with gratitude, with certainty, Whisper to it, if only in your heart, thank you. You are already fulfilled. And then release it. You have done your part. You have breathed life into it through your imagination. You have aligned your emotion, your energy, your belief. There is nothing more to chase, only to receive. The ticket is no longer paper. It is a symbol, a reflection of the unseen becoming seen, a quiet reminder that reality bends to your assumption, that wealth is not found, it is embodied. And what you embody, you draw near. So bless the ticket, not because it holds your future, but because it reflects your present assumption. And if that assumption is one of fulfilled desire, of complete trust, of deep knowing, then the ticket will simply follow the script you've already written in your heart. Let it be so. Give thanks daily, not for what might come, but for what already is. This is the great secret hidden in plain sight. Gratitude in advance is the mark of one who knows. It is not a ritual of polite manners. It is the language of receivers. When you give thanks for what has not yet appeared, you are not pretending. You are acknowledging what is already real in the invisible. You are aligning your inner world to the reality you have claimed. Gratitude is not something you use after something good happens. It is the tool by which things happen. It is a creative force, a signal to the unseen realm that you are in harmony with what you've asked for. When you feel grateful, you are not waiting, you are receiving. You are not longing, you are living in the end. So speak your thanks with conviction. Thank you for this blessing that is already mine. Say it before you see it, because waiting to see it is not faith, that is sight. And sight follows belief, never the other way around. Your world does not change because you are thankful after. It shifts when you are thankful before. Do not confuse this with forced positivity. Gratitude in advance is not about suppressing emotion. It is about elevating your awareness. It is choosing to dwell in the vibration of fullness rather than lack. Even if the bank account says otherwise, even if the world appears unchanged, you close your eyes and feel the abundance within, and you give thanks for it as though it were already in your hand. When you rise in the morning, let your first words be, thank you. It is done. Not out of habit, but from a deep inner knowing. You are not asking, you are receiving. You are not hoping, you are declaring. This shifts your entire state of being. And when your state is aligned with gratitude, miracles must come, not because you forced them. The mind may say, but I haven't received anything yet. That is the trap. You have received everything already in consciousness. And consciousness is the only true substance. The physical follows, just as shadows follow form. Gratitude carves the space for that form to solidify. Feel it. See yourself walking into the life you've imagined. Hear the sounds of it. Taste the sweetness of it. Then say thank you. Not with a question mark, but with a period. Because that is final. That is sure. That is the heart that has already received. Even when doubt creeps in, answer it with gratitude. When fear whispers, what if it doesn't happen? Reply with, thank you, it already has. When delay appears, thank the delay for preparing something better. When the world looks silent, thank the silence for the perfection it hides. You are no longer reacting to appearances. You are creating from within. Let your thankfulness become your rhythm. Make it your atmosphere. Let every breath carry the energy of one who walks with blessings already poured out. This is not fantasy. This is alignment. And alignment is what causes mountains to move, doors to open, and destiny to rearrange itself around you. The gratitude in advance is your evidence of belief. It is the proof you trust what you cannot yet see, and that trust will never be betrayed. The universe cannot resist a grateful heart. It bends to serve it every time. So give thanks, not once, not only when it's easy, but daily, deliberately, joyfully. Give thanks like the one who already holds the winning ticket. Give thanks like the one who already lives the dream. Because in the unseen realm, you already do. And in time, the seen must follow. You were never playing the lottery to win. You were playing because you already knew. The world sees chance, but you move by inner law. You no longer hope, you know. You no longer beg, you become. Each act, from blessing the ticket to assuming the feeling to giving thanks in advance, is not superstition. It is power. It is alignment with the unseen forces that shape all things. You have shifted from waiting to receiving, from effort to embodiment, from desire to fulfillment. You live now as one who already holds the prize, not because the numbers say so, but because your imagination declared it so. You do not chase results. You rest in the truth that they are already yours. As you let go of the how, the when, and the noise, you become magnetic to the very thing you once longed for. This is not about luck. It is about consciousness. The only lottery that ever mattered was the one inside your mind. As you play, you no longer play to get. You play to express what is already done within you. The moment you assume the wish fulfilled, the moment you feel the life after the win, the moment you give thanks before it appears, that is the moment it becomes real. Thank you for choosing belief over doubt, stillness over struggle, and creation over chance. Let this knowing be your new foundation. The magic was never in the numbers. It was in you.
Ladies and gentlemen, discipline is not merely about rigid routines or forced effort. It begins in the most powerful realm you possess, your imagination. Every action, every habit, and every external manifestation in your life first took form in your mind. The disciplined person is not someone who imposes external control over their actions, but someone who has mastered their inner world, where all transformation truly begins. This is where the magic of imagination comes into play. Now, imagination is the starting point of all creation. For everything that exists in your life, whether success or failure, progress or stagnation, was first imagined. To build discipline, you must start by crafting a clear mental picture of the person you wish to become. See yourself as disciplined, organized, and focused in your mind's eye. This image is not just an idle fantasy, but the blueprint for what will soon take shape in your reality. As you consistently hold this image, you'll find that your thoughts, behaviors, and habits begin to align with it. The world around you responds to the inner picture you hold of yourself. Your current level of discipline is simply a reflection of the inner story you've been telling yourself. If you've been imagining yourself as inconsistent, unfocused, or lacking willpower, then your actions will mirror that. But when you shift that inner dialogue and begin to imagine yourself as someone who takes their commitments seriously, follows through on their goals, and remains steadfast in their efforts, the external changes will follow. It's not passive, it is active and intentional. This is the key to transforming your life. The undisciplined person allows their imagination to run wild with doubts, fears, and distractions. But the disciplined individual harnesses their imagination to focus on a clear, constructive vision of their future self. The power to change your habits, your actions, and ultimately your life lies within this inner space. The disciplined person is one who takes control of this creative faculty, directing it toward the life they wish to manifest. Once you recognize that imagination precedes reality, discipline becomes less about rigid control and more about creative alignment. You are no longer battling against yourself, but working with the natural laws of the universe. You are constantly creating, whether you are aware of it or not, and your imagination is the first tool in that process. By consciously directing your imagination toward the version of yourself who possesses discipline, you are shaping the future in real time. The disciplined life you seek begins in the invisible, creative space of your own mind. Shape it carefully, and the physical world will follow. To truly build discipline, it is essential to embrace the principle of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This concept emphasizes the necessity of feeling as if you have already achieved your desired state. When you embody the essence of your goals, you unlock a powerful mechanism that drives change in your life. The emotional state you cultivate acts as a catalyst, propelling you toward the disciplined habits and behaviors necessary for manifesting your desires. Imagine for a moment that you are already the disciplined person you aspire to be. What would that feel like? Would it bring you a sense of confidence, peace, or accomplishment? By vividly experiencing these feelings in your mind, you create a connection between your current self and the ideal version of you. This alignment is critical because emotions are the fuel that powers your thoughts into reality. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you send a clear message to your subconscious that this new reality is not only possible, but is already yours. One of the most transformative aspects of this practice is its ability to bypass the limitations of the rational mind. Often we allow doubts, fears, and past failures to cloud our judgment and distort our self-image. By immersing yourself in the feeling of having already achieved your goals, you disrupt this cycle of negativity. Your subconscious begins to accept the idea that discipline is a natural part of who you are. This is not merely positive thinking, it is a deep-seated belief that alters your perception of yourself and your capabilities. To effectively practice this principle, set aside time each day to visualize your goals as already fulfilled. Create a mental movie where you see yourself exhibiting the qualities of discipline. Engage all your senses. What do you see, hear, and feel in this scenario? The more vivid and detailed your visualization, the stronger the emotional response it will evoke. As you become immersed in this experience, your brain begins to recognize this feeling as your new reality. Furthermore, cultivating the feeling of the wish fulfilled enables you to make decisions aligned with your disciplined self. When challenges arise, you will find that you are more equipped to respond in a manner that reflects your aspirations. Instead of reverting to old habits, you will instinctively gravitate toward choices that support your vision. This alignment between thought and feeling creates a powerful feedback loop, reinforcing your discipline and solidifying your progress. Assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled is not a one-time exercise, but an ongoing practice. Consistently returning to this state of being fortifies your commitment to discipline. As you nurture this emotional connection to your goals, you will discover that discipline becomes less of a struggle and more of a natural expression of who you are. In this way, you not only imagine your future, you embody it. Faith in your inner power is a transformative principle that serves as the cornerstone for building discipline in your life. This faith is not merely a vague hope or a fleeting wish. It is a deep-rooted belief in your inherent ability to shape your reality. When you acknowledge and trust in the power that lies within you, you unleash the potential to create lasting change and cultivate the discipline necessary to achieve your goals. At the core of this belief is the understanding that you are not a passive participant in your life, but an active creator. Every thought you entertain and every belief you hold shapes your experiences. When you have faith in your inner power, you recognize that you possess the capacity to influence outcomes through your mindset and actions. This realization empowers you to take responsibility for your life and reinforces your commitment to discipline. One of the greatest obstacles to cultivating discipline is self-doubt. When you doubt your capabilities, you inadvertently limit your potential and reinforce negative patterns. However, by fostering faith in your inner power, you begin to dismantle those barriers. You must remind yourself that you have faced challenges before and overcome them. Each experience has equipped you with the resilience and skills needed to forge ahead. Trust in your ability to navigate obstacles and make decisions that align with your goals. Faith in your inner power also fosters a sense of confidence that is crucial for disciplined living. When you believe in yourself, you become less susceptible to distractions and external influences. Your decisions are guided by a clear understanding of what you want to achieve, and you are less likely to waver in the face of challenges. This unwavering commitment allows you to cultivate habits that support your vision, reinforcing your discipline over time. To strengthen this faith, it is essential to engage in practices that affirm your inner strength. Daily affirmations, visualization exercises, and meditation can help you connect with your true self and reinforce the belief in your capabilities. As you consistently remind yourself of your power, you begin to shift your self-perception from one of limitation to one of possibility. Surrounding yourself with positive influences, people who inspire and uplift, you can significantly bolster your faith. Seek out those who embody the discipline you wish to cultivate and learn from their experiences. Their stories can serve as powerful reminders that discipline is achievable and that you too can tap into your inner power. Having faith in your inner power is about recognizing that the key to discipline lies within you. As you nurture this belief, you will find that the barriers to your goals begin to dissolve. You will approach challenges with renewed vigor and an unshakable commitment to your vision. With each step you take, you will solidify your discipline, transforming it into an intrinsic part of who you are. The more you trust in your power, the more you will be capable of creating the life you desire. Persistence is a vital aspect of building discipline, and the journey to cultivating this quality requires consistent effort over time. The essence of persistence lies in the unwavering commitment to your goals, even in the face of challenges, setbacks, or temptations to abandon your path. When you choose to persist, you are essentially choosing to create new habits, behaviors, and thought patterns that eventually become second nature. The process of building discipline is not instantaneous. It requires time and a conscious effort to integrate new practices into your daily life. Initially, these practices may feel foreign or uncomfortable as they challenge your existing habits. However, with repeated application and commitment, what once felt difficult or forced gradually transforms into a natural part of your routine. This transition from effort to ease is where the power of persistence truly shines. To make persistence effective, it is essential to establish clear and realistic goals. Identify what discipline means for you, whether it's adhering to a specific routine, committing to a healthy lifestyle, or staying focused on a long-term project. Break down these goals into manageable steps that can be tackled incrementally. This approach allows you to celebrate small victories along the way, reinforcing your motivation to continue. When challenges arise, which they inevitably will, it's crucial to maintain your focus and remind yourself of the ultimate vision you are striving for. Embrace the understanding that discomfort is a natural part of growth. Each time you encounter a setback, view it not as a failure but as an opportunity for learning and adaptation. This mindset shift fosters resilience, allowing you to bounce back stronger and more determined. Pursuit of discipline, consistency is key. Engage in your chosen practices daily, even when motivation wanes. The more you commit to showing up, the more you reinforce the neural pathways associated with those habits. Over time, this repetition creates familiarity, and the actions you once had to force yourself to undertake become ingrained in your daily life. Visualization can also play a crucial role in this process. Picture yourself embodying the disciplined person you aspire to be. Visualize the actions, behaviors, and emotions associated with that version of yourself. By regularly immersing yourself in this mental imagery, you help solidify the idea that discipline is an integral part of your identity. Furthermore, surround yourself with a supportive environment. Engage with individuals who inspire discipline and share similar goals. Their encouragement and shared experiences can help bolster your resolve during moments of doubt. The journey of persistence is about understanding that discipline is not an innate trait, but a cultivated skill. By committing to your goals, facing challenges head-on, and consistently practicing your desired behaviors, you will find that discipline transforms from a conscious effort into a natural expression of who you are. With each step forward, you reinforce the foundation of discipline in your life, creating a path toward lasting fulfillment and achievement. Controlling your attention is a fundamental skill in the pursuit of discipline and personal growth. In a world filled with distractions, be it social media, endless notifications, or the demands of everyday life, mastering the ability to focus your attention is crucial. Your attention is your most valuable resource. Where it goes, your energy follows. Therefore, harnessing this power can significantly influence your ability to cultivate discipline and achieve your goals. To begin, it's essential to recognize that attention is a choice. Every moment you have the power to decide what you focus on. This realization is empowering because it places the responsibility for your actions and outcomes squarely in your hands. When you consciously choose where to direct your attention, you reclaim control over your life. This control is vital for building discipline, as it enables you to prioritize what truly matters and align your actions with your aspirations. The first step in controlling your attention is to establish clear goals. When you know what you want to achieve, you can more easily discern distractions from your path. Write down your objectives and break them into manageable tasks. This clarity not only helps you stay focused, but also makes it easier to identify when your attention begins to wander. Another critical aspect of managing your attention is creating an environment conducive to focus. Your surroundings significantly impact your ability to concentrate. Identify and eliminate distractions in your workspace or living area. This might mean turning off notifications on your devices, designating specific times to check emails, or creating a dedicated space for work and reflection. A clutter-free and distraction-free environment fosters a mindset conducive to discipline. Practice mindfulness techniques to enhance your attention control. Mindfulness meditation can train your mind to become more aware of wandering thoughts and distractions. By regularly engaging in mindfulness exercises, you develop the ability to observe your thoughts without judgment, allowing you to redirect your focus back to your chosen tasks. This practice strengthens your attention muscles, making it easier to maintain concentration over time. To mindfulness, utilize techniques such as the Pomodoro technique, which involves working in focused bursts followed by short breaks. This method not only enhances productivity, but also helps condition your mind to maintain attention for sustained periods. By structuring your work sessions, you create a rhythm that encourages focus and discipline. Accountability is another powerful tool in controlling your attention. Share your goals with someone who can help keep you accountable. This could be a friend, mentor, or coach who checks in on your progress and encourages you to stay focused on your priorities. Their support can serve as a powerful motivator, making it easier to resist distractions. Controlling your attention is a practice that requires consistency and dedication. By consciously directing your focus toward what truly matters, you lay the groundwork for a disciplined life. As you refine this skill, you'll find that your ability to maintain attention on your goals strengthens, and the distractions that once held power over you diminish. In this way, you not only cultivate discipline, but also empower yourself to create the life you desire. Gratitude for the process is a transformative mindset that can significantly enhance your journey toward building discipline. It involves recognizing and appreciating each step along the way, rather than solely fixating on the end goal. This practice fosters a positive attitude that not only keeps you motivated, but also helps you embrace the challenges and lessons that arise during your pursuit of discipline. When you cultivate gratitude for the process, you shift your focus from what you lack or what has yet to be achieved to the progress you are making in the present moment. This shift in perspective is crucial because it fosters a sense of contentment and fulfillment that can often be overlooked in the hustle to achieve goals. Rather than viewing discipline as a burdensome requirement, you come to see it as an integral part of a journey filled with growth and learning. One of the most powerful aspects of gratitude is its ability to reframe challenges as opportunities. Every obstacle you encounter is an invitation to develop resilience, creativity, and problem-solving skills. When you express gratitude for these experiences, you begin to view them not as setbacks but as essential components of your growth. This mindset shift allows you to remain focused and determined, even when faced with difficulties. Embracing the process with gratitude transforms obstacles into stepping stones toward your goals. You can cultivate gratitude for the process through various techniques. One effective method is to maintain a daily gratitude journal. Each day, take a moment to write down 3 things you are grateful for, particularly those related to your journey toward discipline. This could include recognizing the effort you put into developing new habits, appreciating the lessons learned from setbacks, or acknowledging the support of friends and family. By documenting these experiences, you reinforce a positive mindset that celebrates your progress. Mindfulness practices can enhance your appreciation for the process. Engage in meditation or reflective practices that allow you to connect with your inner self. During these moments, focus on the progress you have made, the lessons you have learned, and the strengths you have developed along the way. This conscious acknowledgement of your journey fosters a deep sense of gratitude, which can motivate you to keep pushing forward. Surrounding yourself with a supportive community can also amplify your gratitude for the process. Engage with individuals who share similar goals and values. Their encouragement and shared experiences can serve as powerful reminders of the importance of celebrating every step of the journey. By fostering an environment of mutual support, you create a culture of gratitude that reinforces your commitment to discipline. Cultivating gratitude for the process is about embracing the entire journey, not just the destination. It enables you to appreciate the small victories, learn from challenges, and grow as an individual. As you nurture this mindset, you will find that discipline becomes a more enjoyable and fulfilling aspect of your life. By recognizing and valuing the process, you empower yourself to achieve your goals with resilience, joy, and unwavering determination. In this way, gratitude not only enhances your journey toward discipline, but also enriches your overall experience of life. In conclusion, building discipline is a journey that encompasses various principles, each playing a vital role in shaping our character and guiding us toward our goals. From understanding that imagination precedes reality to embracing the feeling of the wish fulfilled, cultivating faith in our inner power, persisting until our efforts become second nature, controlling our attention, and expressing gratitude for the process, each aspect reinforces the foundation of discipline in our lives. As we navigate this journey, it is essential to remember that discipline is not merely a set of actions or habits. It is a reflection of our mindset and belief in our ability to create the lives we desire. By consistently applying these principles, we not only enhance our capacity for discipline, but also transform our overall experience of life into one filled with purpose, resilience, and joy. Thank you for your time and attention. May you all embark on your journey with the knowledge and commitment to build the discipline necessary to achieve your dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, quiet moments of our lives, when all the noise and distractions of the world fade away, there is something deep within us that speaks without words. A nudge, a feeling, a sense that tells us what to do, where to go, and who to trust. This is instinct, the inner guide that each of us carries but too often ignores. Today I want to share with you the 4 instincts you should never ignore, for they are the keys to unlocking your highest potential and walking in alignment with your true self. There is a subtle, yet profound force within each of us that often goes unnoticed in the hustle and bustle of daily life. It is not the loud voice of logic or the rigid reasoning of the mind, but a quiet whisper from within, a sensation, a feeling that speaks to us in moments when we least expect it. This inner feeling is more than just emotion, it is the guiding force of our intuition, the essence of our soul's wisdom, and the key to understanding the deeper truths of our existence. At the heart of this inner feeling lies the concept of knowing without knowing. Have you ever had an inexplicable sense about a decision, a person, or a situation that seemed to defy rational explanation? Perhaps you found yourself drawn to a particular path, or avoiding something, even though your mind couldn't articulate why. This is your inner feeling at work. It's the bridge between your conscious awareness and the vast, untapped intelligence of your subconscious mind, which is constantly processing information, much of which you are not even aware of. Trusting in these feelings is akin to listening to the wisdom of your deepest self, the part of you that is connected to something greater than your immediate surroundings. Yet in modern society, we are often taught to suppress or dismiss these inner sensations in favor of logic and external validation. From a young age, we are conditioned to believe that decisions must be based on facts, figures, and tangible evidence. We are trained to trust our minds over our hearts, and to value intellectual reasoning over the subtle nudges of our instincts. But in doing so, we lose touch with the very source of guidance that can lead us toward our highest potential. So, when we ignore our inner feeling, we disconnect from the essence of who we truly are, and from the greater flow of life. What many fail to realize is that this inner feeling is a direct expression of our creative power. When we trust it, we align ourselves with the natural rhythms of the universe. In moments of clarity, when we act on this deep sense of knowing, we step into a state of flow, where everything seems to fall into place effortlessly. It is as though the universe conspires in our favor, guiding us toward the people, opportunities, and experiences that are meant for us. This is not coincidence, it is the result of living in harmony with the inner forces that shape our reality. The challenge for many is that the inner feeling often contradicts what seems logical or practical on the surface. It might urge us to take risks, to step into the unknown, or to pursue something that defies conventional wisdom. Yet it is in these moments that true transformation happens. By honoring the power of our inner feeling, we open ourselves to infinite possibilities that our minds alone could never comprehend. This feeling transcends the limitations of the physical world and taps into the realm of potential, where our dreams and desires already exist, waiting to be realized. The power of inner feeling is a reminder that we are more than our minds. We are multidimensional beings, capable of accessing wisdom beyond what we can see or explain. To trust this inner knowing is to reclaim our inherent power as creators of our own reality. It is to live in alignment with our highest purpose, knowing that the universe will always support those who listen to the whispers of their soul. When you learn to trust this feeling, you step into a life of flow, abundance, and fulfillment, a life guided by the deeper truths within you. Imagination is often regarded as a fanciful escape, something separate from reality. We are told that imagining is for dreamers, while reality belongs to the practical and logical. Yet this common perception overlooks a profound truth. Imagination is not merely a mental exercise, it is the very foundation of reality. What we imagine has the potential to shape our experiences, influence our circumstances, and create the world we live in. When we truly understand the power of imagination, we realize that it is not a passive activity, but an active force of creation. Everything that exists in the physical world first existed in the realm of imagination. Every invention, work of art, or breakthrough began as a thought, a vision, a possibility in someone's mind. The chair you sit on, the buildings we occupy, the technology we use, all of these were once ideas. Through the power of imagination, they were brought into form. This is a testament to the fact that imagination precedes physical reality. It is the birthplace of creation, where the seeds of the future are planted. But the power of imagination is not limited to inventors, artists, or great thinkers. It is a tool available to all of us, shaping our personal realities in ways both subtle and profound. Our inner world, the thoughts and images we dwell on, directly influences the life we experience. If we continuously imagine lack, struggle, or limitation, these mental images begin to manifest as our reality. Conversely, when we fill our minds with visions of abundance, joy, and success, we set the stage for those experiences to unfold. Imagination, then, is not a separate reality, it is the underlying force that gives birth to what we see and live. One of the most significant aspects of imagination is its ability to transcend the present moment. While our senses are bound by what is happening in the here and now, imagination allows us to step beyond the confines of time and space. We can picture a future different from our current circumstances, and in doing so, we begin to align with that vision. This is not mere fantasy, it is the creative process at work. By imagining a desired outcome with clarity and emotion, we activate the subconscious mind, which then works in harmony with the universe to bring about the circumstances, people, and opportunities necessary for that vision to come to life. It is important to recognize that imagination is a form of belief. When you imagine something vividly enough, you begin to believe in its possibility. And belief is a powerful force. For what we believe, we tend to manifest. If you believe, even unconsciously, that you are unworthy of success or happiness, your outer world will reflect that belief. But if you use your imagination to create a vision of yourself as successful, joyful, and fulfilled, your subconscious mind begins to accept that as truth. As a result, your actions, decisions, and energy start to align with this new belief, attracting experiences that confirm it. The challenge for many of us is that we often use our imagination destructively without realizing it. We worry, we fear, we imagine worst-case scenarios, and then we wonder why life seems difficult. But this is simply imagination at work, creating a negative reality based on negative mental images. The key is to become conscious of how we are using this powerful tool and to direct it toward what we truly desire. Imagination, when used consciously and positively, becomes the architect of our lives. Imagination is reality in its most essential form. It is the creative force that shapes our experiences, whether we are aware of it or not. To harness its power is to take control of the direction of our lives. By consciously imagining the life we wish to live, we are not escaping reality, we are shaping it. We are aligning ourselves with the limitless possibilities of the universe and stepping into the role of creators, bringing forth the experiences, people, and circumstances that mirror the visions in our minds. Faith in your inner voice is one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked, tools for navigating life's uncertainties. This inner voice, often referred to as intuition, is the subtle guidance that comes from within, a knowing that transcends the intellect, logic, and external opinions. It is deeply personal and often quiet, but it carries profound wisdom. Learning to trust and have faith in this voice is the key to living a life aligned with your true purpose, even when the path forward seems unclear or unconventional. At its core, the inner voice is your connection to your higher self, the part of you that exists beyond the surface level of thought and analysis. While the mind may operate in terms of fear, doubt, and rational calculation, your inner voice speaks from a place of deeper wisdom, rooted in the awareness of your soul's desires and the direction in which your life is meant to unfold. This voice doesn't shout, it whispers. It nudges you through feelings, subtle inclinations, and gut instincts, urging you to take certain actions or avoid certain paths. And though it may not always make logical sense in the moment, it carries with it an unshakable sense of truth. The challenge is that we are often conditioned to prioritize external sources of authority over our inner knowing. We are taught to rely on societal norms, the opinions of others, and even our analytical mind when making decisions. In doing so, we frequently override our inner voice, dismissing it as irrational or unfounded. However, when we ignore this inner guidance, we may find ourselves making decisions that lead us further away from our true desires, leaving us feeling disconnected, frustrated, or unfulfilled. Faith in your inner voice requires a willingness to listen to that deep sense of knowing, even when it defies logic or challenges the expectations placed upon you by others. Trusting this inner guidance is an act of faith, because it requires you to move forward without always having concrete evidence or certainty. It asks you to step into the unknown, to take risks, and to believe that even when the way ahead is unclear, your inner voice will lead you in the right direction. This faith is not blind optimism, but an acknowledgement that there is a part of you that is inherently connected to something greater, a universal intelligence that orchestrates the unfolding of life in ways that are often beyond the comprehension of the rational mind. When you cultivate faith in your inner voice, you begin to notice that life flows more smoothly. You make decisions with greater ease, and opportunities arise seemingly out of nowhere, as if the universe itself is aligning to support your path. You experience synchronicities, those moments when everything just seems to click into place, and you feel a sense of peace, even in the midst of uncertainty. This is because your inner voice is always guiding you toward what is meant for you. It is the compass that points you in the direction of your highest good, even if the road there is not always straightforward. Having faith in your inner voice does not mean that you will never encounter challenges or doubts. There will be moments when fear creeps in, when the mind questions the validity of your intuition, or when external circumstances seem to contradict your inner knowing. In these moments, faith becomes even more important. It is the anchor that keeps you grounded, reminding you to trust the process and to trust yourself. Over time, as you repeatedly act on your inner voice and see the results unfold, your faith will strengthen. You will begin to recognize that this voice is never wrong. It simply operates from a perspective that sees beyond the immediate present, understanding the broader picture of your life's journey. Faith in your inner voice is about cultivating a deep sense of trust in yourself and in the wisdom that resides within. It is the realization that you already possess everything you need to navigate life's twists and turns. All you have to do is listen, trust, and take action based on that quiet, powerful knowing. Creation is the understanding that you are not merely a passive observer of life, but an active participant in shaping your reality. Every thought you think, every belief you hold, and every emotion you feel contributes to the world you experience. Whether we realize it or not, we are constantly creating. The difference lies in whether we are doing so unconsciously, driven by habits, fears, and societal conditioning, or consciously, with deliberate intention, clarity, and awareness of the outcomes we wish to manifest. At the core of conscious creation is the idea that your inner world, your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions creates your outer reality. What you focus on mentally and emotionally is what you attract and bring into your life. This concept is not just about wishful thinking or positive affirmations. It's about understanding the power of your consciousness to influence the experiences that unfold before you. The law of attraction, popularized in recent years, is a reflection of this truth, like attracts like. When you consciously focus on what you desire with clarity and belief, you set the wheels in motion for that reality to come into being. Conscious creation requires more than just wanting something. It involves aligning your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions with the reality you wish to create. You cannot simply desire success while simultaneously believing that you are unworthy of it. Such conflicting energies cancel each other out, making it difficult for your desires to manifest. Conscious creation means becoming aware of these inner contradictions and doing the work to harmonize your thoughts and emotions with your desired outcome. This requires self-awareness, reflection, and the willingness to shift limiting beliefs that may be holding you back. One of the key aspects of conscious creation is the role of intention. Intentions are the guiding force behind what you choose to create in your life. When you set an intention with clarity and conviction, you direct your energy toward that goal. Without a clear intention, your creative power becomes scattered, leading to mixed results. Conscious creation is about being specific and deliberate about what you want, but also remaining open to the form in which it arrives. Often the universe delivers in ways that are beyond what we can imagine, but aligned with our highest good. Faith and trust play a vital role in conscious creation. Once you have set a clear intention, there is often a period of waiting or gestation, where the results are not immediately visible. During this time, doubts and fears can arise, causing you to question whether your efforts are working. Conscious creation requires trust in the process. Just as a seed takes time to grow into a tree, Your desires take time to manifest in the physical world. Trust that the universe is aligning circumstances in your favor, and resist the urge to give up or revert to old patterns of thinking. Another important element of conscious creation is action. While visualization and intention are powerful, they must be complemented by inspired action. This is not about forcing or controlling outcomes, but rather taking steps that are aligned with your desires. When you are in tune with your inner guidance, the right actions will feel natural and effortless, as if you are being led toward your goal. Conscious creation is a co-creative process between you and the universe. It requires both internal alignment and external action. Conscious creation calls for detachment from specific outcomes. While it is important to have a clear vision of what you desire, it's equally important to remain flexible and open to how that vision manifests. Sometimes the universe has a grander plan than you can imagine, and the form your desire takes may be different from what you initially envisioned. By trusting the process and releasing attachment to specific details, you allow for greater possibilities to emerge. Creation is about reclaiming your power as a creator of your own experience. It is the practice of living with awareness, intention, and faith, knowing that you are an active participant in shaping the reality you encounter. Through conscious creation, you move from a place of victimhood, where life happens to you, to a place of empowerment, where life happens through you. The divine timing of instinct is a concept that recognizes the perfect synchronicity between our inner guidance and the unfolding events in our lives. While we may often want things to happen immediately, instinct operates according to a timing that is beyond our control, yet always in alignment with our highest good. It is the gentle reminder that life has a rhythm, a flow, and that our instincts come to us exactly when we need them, neither too early nor too late. Instinct is a deep, intuitive knowing that arises from within us, often without a clear reason or explanation. It nudges us toward decisions, actions, or changes that may not make immediate sense to our rational mind. However, it is connected to a wisdom that understands far more than our conscious mind can grasp. The timing of these instincts is not random, it is intricately tied to the unfolding of our life's journey, guiding us to take the right steps at the right time. We live in a world that values speed, efficiency, and instant results. This can lead to frustration when our instincts point us in a direction that doesn't yield immediate outcomes, or when they prompt us to wait when we feel we should be acting. However, divine timing reminds us that everything has its season, and instinct is attuned to the natural rhythms of the universe. There are times when waiting, even when it feels uncomfortable, is the most aligned action we can take. It allows the right circumstances, people, and opportunities to fall into place in ways we couldn't have orchestrated ourselves. There are moments when instinct urges us to act swiftly, to seize an opportunity or make a leap of faith even when we don't feel ready. This is another aspect of divine timing. When an instinct arises strongly, it is because the universe is aligning to support that action. It may feel like a risk, but in truth, it is the right time for that decision, and delaying it out of fear or hesitation may cause us to miss a significant opportunity. Divine timing is not just about waiting, it's about trusting that your instincts know when to move and when to pause. Trusting in the divine timing of instinct also means accepting that things may not unfold in the way or within the timeline we expect. There may be delays, detours, or unexpected challenges along the way, but these too are part of the greater plan. Sometimes our instincts lead us toward experiences that don't immediately make sense, but in hindsight we realize they were preparing us for something greater. The people we meet, the lessons we learn, and the skills we develop along the way all contribute to the bigger picture of our lives. Divine timing ensures that these experiences come together in perfect harmony, even if we can't see the full pattern in the moment. To truly align with the divine timing of instinct, we must cultivate patience and trust. Patience because not everything will happen when we think it should, and trust because our instincts are connected to a higher intelligence that knows what is best for us. By surrendering to this timing, we release the need to control every outcome and instead allow life to unfold naturally. This doesn't mean being passive or idle, but rather being attuned to the signals from within and acting in harmony with the flow of life. The divine timing of instinct is a reminder that we are co-creators with the universe. While we can set intentions, make plans, and take action, there is also a greater force at work that knows the perfect timing for our desires to manifest. By trusting our instincts and the timing in which they arise, we align ourselves with the greater rhythm of life and allow our path to unfold in ways that are often more magical and fulfilling than we could have imagined. Manifestation through awareness is the process of consciously bringing into reality what you desire by cultivating a deep understanding of your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. It is the recognition that your inner state directly influences your external experiences. The power to manifest lies not in mere wishful thinking, but in being fully aware of how your consciousness shapes the world around you. By becoming aware of the patterns in your thinking and the energy you radiate, you can intentionally direct your focus toward the outcomes you seek, transforming your life from the inside out. Awareness is the foundation of manifestation because it allows you to observe and understand the workings of your mind. Many of us operate on autopilot, reacting to life based on subconscious programming and limiting beliefs that we may not even be aware of. These hidden beliefs and thought patterns can block the very things we desire from coming into our lives. For example, if you want to manifest abundance, but carry an unconscious belief that you are undeserving of success, that belief will create resistance, preventing the manifestation of prosperity. Awareness, however, gives you the power to identify and shift these limiting beliefs, replacing them with empowering thoughts that align with your desires. When you become aware of your thoughts and emotions, you can consciously choose where to direct your energy. Manifestation is closely tied to the energy you emit, as like attracts like. If you consistently dwell on negative thoughts, fear, or lack, you will attract experiences that mirror those feelings. But when you raise your awareness and focus on positive emotions, such as gratitude, love, and abundance, you draw more of those experiences into your life. This is not just about thinking happy thoughts, it's about cultivating a mindset, an emotional state that is in harmony with what you want to create. Another crucial aspect of manifestation through awareness is mindfulness in the present moment. Often we get so focused on the future, worrying about outcomes or wishing for something to happen, that we lose sight of the power we have in the here and now. Manifestation happens in the present moment, not in some distant future. By being fully aware of the present, you align yourself with the flow of life, and this alignment makes it easier for the things you desire to manifest. When you are present and mindful, you notice opportunities, synchronicities, and subtle nudges from the universe that guide you toward your goals. Awareness also helps you to become attuned to the vibrational frequency of your desires. Everything in the universe operates on a frequency, and your thoughts and emotions emit vibrations that either align with or resist the things you want to manifest. When you are aware of the frequency you are vibrating at, whether it is one of scarcity or abundance, you can consciously shift it to match the frequency of what you want to attract. This alignment creates a harmonious resonance between you and your desires, accelerating the process of manifestation. One of the greatest challenges in manifestation is the tendency to focus on what's missing rather than on what's possible. Awareness helps you break this cycle by bringing your attention to what you already have and cultivating a sense of gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, helping you to recognize the blessings in your life and creating a positive energy field that attracts more of what you appreciate. This simple yet profound shift in awareness can transform your reality. Manifestation through awareness requires patience and trust in the process. When you are aware of your thoughts, emotions, and the subtle shifts in your external world, you begin to understand that manifestation is a journey, not an instant result. Some desires take time to unfold, and your awareness will help you recognize that even delays or obstacles are part of the process. They often serve as opportunities for growth or redirection, guiding you to something even better than you initially imagined. Manifestation through awareness is about aligning your inner world with the reality you wish to create. It is a process of self-discovery and conscious focus, where you take responsibility for the thoughts and emotions that shape your life. By cultivating awareness, you become a deliberate creator, empowered to manifest a life that reflects your deepest desires and highest potential. In conclusion, the power to shape our reality lies within each of us, through the alignment of our thoughts, beliefs, and instincts with our higher purpose. By trusting our inner voice, harnessing the creative power of our imagination, and embracing the divine timing of life, we can consciously create the life we desire. Awareness is the key to unlocking this potential, allowing us to manifest our dreams by aligning our inner world with the outer world we wish to experience. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to share a truth as ancient as creation itself, a truth that has the power to transform your life. Private life always wins. What do I mean by this? I mean that the thoughts you keep, the emotions you cultivate, and the visions you cherish in the privacy of your mind are the silent architects of your entire experience. The world we live in is not merely a collection of random events and external circumstances, it is a reflection of the inner landscapes of our imagination. Often we are taught to believe that what we see, hear, and experience outwardly is the ultimate reality. Yet the truth is far more profound. It is our inner world of imagination that holds the power to create and shape the physical reality we encounter each day. This understanding is the key to transforming our lives. The imagination is not just a fanciful escape or a tool for daydreams, it is the very foundation upon which our experiences are built. Every moment of our lives, whether we are aware of it or not, we are imagining. In those quiet moments when we envision a future for ourselves, replay past events, or dwell on certain emotions, we are setting the stage for what is to come. The outer world is nothing more than the manifestation of the inner world, and the imagination is the engine that drives this process. When we talk about imagination as the source of reality, we are not referring to idle fantasies or wishful thinking. We are talking about a focused, conscious use of the mind's ability to create images and scenarios that align with our desires. When you deliberately imagine yourself in a particular state, whether it is successful, healthy, or happy, you are laying the foundation for that state to materialize in your life. It is not about mere hoping or passive wishing, it is about assuming that your imagined reality is already true, living in that assumption internally, and allowing it to be expressed outwardly in due time. The power of imagination lies in its ability to alter our consciousness. When we assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, we are essentially reprogramming our subconscious mind to accept a new reality. Our subconscious does not argue with us, nor does it question what is real or not. It simply accepts what we consistently imagine as truth. Over time, this truth, held firmly in our imagination, begins to shape our actions, reactions, and even the people and circumstances we encounter. The world responds to the images we hold in our minds because our imagination is the source of all creation. Consider this: every invention, every great work of art, every scientific breakthrough, and every significant achievement throughout history began as an idea in someone's mind. The greatest creators, thinkers, and visionaries were those who understood the importance of their private inner world. They knew that what they imagined consistently would eventually manifest in the external world. They acted from a place of certainty, knowing that the invisible is just as real, if not more real, than the visible. In our everyday lives, we can use this principle to bring about the changes we seek. If there is something you desire to achieve or experience, begin by imagining it in vivid detail. See yourself as already being the person you want to become. Feel the emotions that would accompany the fulfillment of your desire. The more real you make it in your imagination, the more powerfully it will be expressed in your physical reality. Do not concern yourself with how or when it will happen. That is not your job. Your only task is to persist in the assumption that it has already happened, and reality will take care of the rest. Many people fall into the trap of thinking that they must see changes in their external circumstances before they can believe in the power of imagination. But this is like waiting for a fire to burn before lighting the match. The change must begin within. When you realize that your imagination is the source of all that you experience, you reclaim your power as the creator of your life. What you imagine consistently, with feeling and belief, will become your reality. Imagination always precedes creation. What you envision in your mind will unfold in your life. The power of assumption is one of the most profound and transformative forces available to each of us. At its core, it is the idea that whatever we assume to be true in our minds will eventually become true in our lives. This concept rests on the belief that our inner thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions shape the reality we experience. It's not merely about wishful thinking or passive hoping. It is about deliberately choosing what to assume and holding on to that assumption with conviction until it manifests in the external world. Every one of us lives by assumptions, whether we are aware of it or not. From the moment we wake up, we assume things about ourselves, our day, our relationships, and our future. These assumptions, conscious or unconscious, create a framework for how we experience life. The person who assumes they will be successful and live a fulfilling life approaches the world with a different energy, attitude, and confidence than the person who assumes failure or defeat. In both cases, those assumptions have a powerful influence on how events unfold. The beauty of the power of assumption is that it gives us a direct role in the creation of our reality. Instead of passively reacting to life, we can become active creators by consciously choosing what we assume to be true. When you hold a specific assumption in your mind, it begins to shape your thoughts, feelings, and actions, which in turn influences the circumstances you encounter. If you assume that good things are always happening for you, your mind will naturally gravitate toward opportunities and solutions that support that assumption. Conversely, if you assume that life is full of struggle, your mind will fixate on problems and obstacles, reinforcing that belief. To harness the power of assumption, the key is to act as if what you desire is already true. This doesn't mean pretending or lying to yourself. It means adopting the feeling of your wish fulfilled and living from that state internally. For example, if you desire to be in a happy relationship, assume that you are already in one. Feel the emotions of love, joy, and companionship as if they are already a part of your daily experience. The more you assume this state, the more natural it becomes, and soon your external world will begin to reflect that inner assumption. The subconscious mind plays a critical role in this process. It does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. Whatever you persistently assume is taken as fact by the subconscious, and it works to bring that assumption into physical form. This is why persistence is so important. You cannot assume something for a day or two and expect immediate results. It requires faith and unwavering belief in the truth of your assumption, even when your current circumstances might suggest otherwise. The person who masters the power of assumption understands that they are not bound by their current reality. They know that everything in life is fluid and changeable, and that by assuming a new reality in their mind, they can bring about its physical counterpart. It's important to realize that this is not about forcing change or trying to manipulate circumstances. Rather, it's about aligning your inner state with the reality you desire, knowing that the outer world will inevitably conform to that inner state. Many people struggle because they assume limitations instead of possibilities. They assume they are not good enough, that they will never achieve their dreams, or that life is inherently difficult. These negative assumptions create a self-fulfilling prophecy. But the moment you change your assumptions, you change your life. By assuming success, health, abundance, or love, and holding on to those assumptions with faith, you begin to attract experiences that align with those positive states. The power of assumption is simple yet incredibly profound. It reminds us that we are not victims of circumstances, but creators of them. By consciously choosing our assumptions and persisting in them, we can transform our reality from the inside out. What we assume to be true, over time, becomes true. Our thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions create the world we live in. Therefore, it is in our best interest to assume the best for ourselves, to persist in those assumptions, and to watch as life rises to meet them. Belief in the unseen is one of the most powerful principles that governs the creation of our lives. It is the understanding that what is invisible, intangible, and beyond our immediate senses holds the key to shaping the visible and tangible aspects of our reality. While the physical world often demands evidence before belief, this principle works in reverse: belief precedes evidence, and the unseen always gives rise to the seen. Everything that we experience in the physical world has its origin in the invisible realm of thought, imagination, and consciousness. In our daily lives, we are conditioned to trust only what we can perceive, with our senses what we can see, hear, touch, and measure. However, the essence of true creation lies beyond the reach of the senses. The unseen world is the fertile ground from which all things grow. Our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, though invisible, are the most powerful forces shaping the circumstances of our lives. What we accept as true in our minds, even when there is no physical proof, sets into motion the process by which that truth becomes manifest in our world. Belief in the unseen requires faith, a deep inner conviction that what we desire already exists, even if we cannot yet see it with our physical eyes. Faith is not blind, it is visionary. It is the ability to hold firm to an inner picture, a feeling, or a desired outcome, despite all appearances to the contrary. This kind of belief calls upon us to trust in the creative power of our consciousness, to know that the universe responds to our inner states, and to understand that what is hidden will eventually reveal itself in the physical realm. We see the principle of belief in the unseen in action all around us. Every invention, every innovation, every great accomplishment was once an unseen idea in someone's mind. The inventor of the telephone, the creators of the internet, the pioneers of flight, none of them could rely on evidence from the outside world to support their visions. They had to believe in what was not yet seen. Their belief was the fuel that brought their ideas into form. They persisted in their inner vision until the world conformed to it. In our personal lives, we too must adopt this same mindset. If there is a dream or a goal we seek to achieve, it begins with belief in its possibility, belief in our own ability, and belief that the unseen forces of life are working on our behalf. When we plant the seed of belief in our minds, we are aligning with the creative power of the universe. The key is to persist in this belief, even when circumstances appear to contradict it. The physical world is often slow to reflect our inner state, but if we remain steadfast, the outer world will eventually bend to match our belief. Many people falter because they allow what they see with their eyes to dictate what they believe. They look at their current circumstances, perhaps a lack of money, poor health, or unfulfilling relationships, and they conclude that what they see is all there is. But true power comes from knowing that the current reality is just a reflection of past beliefs and thoughts. To change the outer world, we must first change the inner world, and this requires believing in something greater than what we currently see. Belief in the unseen is not about denying reality. It is about understanding that reality is fluid and changeable. The unseen realm of imagination, thought, and belief is where all change begins. What we hold in our minds with conviction and emotion will, in time, become our experience. The universe responds to the energy we emit through our beliefs, and it is through this energetic alignment that our desires are brought into physical form. Belief in the unseen empowers us to become conscious creators of our lives. When we understand that the unseen is the source of the seen, we are no longer limited by the present circumstances or the conditions of the physical world. We can believe in possibilities beyond what is currently visible, and, through that belief, summon new experiences into existence. What is unseen today becomes seen tomorrow, if we persist in our belief and align our thoughts and actions with that unseen vision. Is the only reality. This statement, though simple in its expression, holds profound significance in understanding how our lives unfold. Everything we experience, everything we perceive as reality, originates from our consciousness, the thoughts, beliefs, feelings, and assumptions we hold in our minds. Far from being passive observers in a predetermined world, we are active participants in creating our reality through the lens of our consciousness. What we focus on internally becomes the blueprint for what manifests externally. Most people believe that reality is an external force, something that happens to them independent of their control. They see themselves as victims of circumstances, reacting to events as they arise. But in truth, life is not happening to us, it is happening through us. The world we perceive is a mirror reflecting the state of our consciousness. The thoughts and beliefs we carry shape the circumstances, events, and people we encounter. In other words, the world is not separate from us, it is an extension of our inner state, is the fundamental substance of reality. Everything begins within the mind before it takes shape in the external world. Our personal experiences, relationships, and even the conditions of our lives are expressions of the content of our consciousness. If we hold thoughts of abundance, success, and love, those qualities will appear in our lives. Conversely, if we focus on lack, fear, and limitation, those conditions will materialize. The external world conforms to the inner state of being. That consciousness is the only reality also means recognizing that external changes alone cannot lead to lasting transformation. Many people try to change their lives by altering their circumstances, switching jobs, moving to a new location, or changing their relationships, yet they find that the same patterns repeat themselves. This is because the true cause of those patterns lies within their consciousness, not in the external circumstances. Unless the internal state changes, the outer conditions will continue to reflect the same inner beliefs. To create lasting change in life, we must first change our consciousness. This requires becoming aware of the thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that govern our experience. What are we habitually thinking? What assumptions do we hold about ourselves and the world? By examining these inner states, we can begin to shift them in alignment with the reality we desire to experience. This shift in consciousness is the first step in transforming the outer world. The idea that consciousness is the only reality also emphasizes the power of focus. Whatever we consistently dwell on in our minds, we draw into our lives. If we focus on problems, difficulties, and limitations, our reality will reflect those conditions. But if we train our consciousness to focus on solutions, opportunities, and possibilities, the outer world will adjust to match that focus. Our consciousness acts like a magnet, attracting experiences that align with the dominant thoughts and beliefs we hold. This concept is not about denying the external world or pretending that challenges don't exist. Rather, it is about understanding that the root of those challenges and the key to overcoming them lies within. By changing our consciousness, we change how we interact with the world, which in turn changes the world itself. It is a process of inner alignment, where the outer reflects the inner. The idea that consciousness is the only reality highlights our inherent power as creators. We are not at the mercy of random events or external forces. We are the architects of our own experience. The circumstances of life are shaped by what we hold in our minds. This knowledge gives us the freedom to consciously design the reality we wish to live in. Instead of reacting to the world, we can respond from a place of deliberate creation, knowing that our consciousness is the driving force behind what we experience. Embracing the truth that consciousness is the only reality opens up infinite possibilities. It invites us to take responsibility for our inner world and to recognize that our thoughts, beliefs, and feelings are the raw materials from which our reality is shaped. By consciously choosing what we dwell upon and what we believe to be true, we gain the power to create a life that aligns with our deepest desires and aspirations. Mastery over circumstances is the realization that we hold the power to shape our lives, regardless of the external conditions we face. Most people believe that life is dictated by outside forces, luck, fate, or the influence of others. They view themselves as victims of circumstances, reacting to whatever life throws at them. However, true mastery comes from understanding that circumstances are not the cause of our experience, but rather the effect of our inner state of mind. The moment we recognize this, we reclaim control and understand that we are the creators of our own reality. The key to mastering circumstances lies in understanding the relationship between our thoughts, emotions, and external events. The world we experience is a reflection of the inner assumptions we hold. If we assume life is difficult, that assumption will govern our actions and perceptions, leading us to interpret and attract difficulties. On the other hand, if we assume life is full of opportunities, That belief will open our eyes to the possibilities around us and shape our actions towards success. Circumstances do not create our beliefs, it is our beliefs that create circumstances. One of the most powerful ways to achieve mastery over circumstances is by shifting our focus inward rather than outward. Instead of trying to control or manipulate the external world, we must focus on our internal state, our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. By cultivating a mindset of calm, confidence, and clarity, we naturally begin to influence our external environment. The world responds to the energy we emit, and when our inner state is aligned with peace and positivity, the outer world starts to reflect that state. Many people fall into the trap of thinking that they must fix external problems to feel better internally. But this approach is backward. Trying to change circumstances without changing the inner cause is like trying to alter the reflection in a mirror without changing the object that casts it. If we wish to experience different results in our lives, we must first change what is happening within us. The inner shift is what brings about the outer transformation. It is also important to understand that mastery over circumstances does not mean controlling every detail of life or avoiding all challenges. Challenges are a natural part of life, but our ability to navigate them depends on our internal state. A person who has mastered their inner world can face adversity without being overwhelmed by it. They remain rooted in their inner strength, knowing that circumstances are temporary and that their response determines the ultimate outcome. They don't allow external events to dictate their mood or well-being because they know their true power lies within. One of the greatest examples of mastery over circumstances is seen in individuals who have overcome significant obstacles to achieve success. These individuals were not lucky or privileged in some special way. They simply refused to let external conditions determine their fate. Instead, they cultivated an inner belief in their ability to succeed, despite the odds. They persisted in their vision, held firm in their mindset, and eventually shaped their reality to match their inner conviction. They understood that their thoughts and assumptions would eventually bend the external world to align with their desires. Mastery over circumstances also involves the practice of detachment. Detachment is not indifference, but rather the ability to remain unaffected by the highs and lows of life. When we are attached to a specific outcome, we give our power away to external conditions. However, when we remain centered and detached, we maintain control over our inner state, regardless of what happens around us. This does not mean we do not care about outcomes. It means that our sense of peace and self-worth is not dependent on them. But from this place of calm detachment, we can respond more effectively to life's challenges. Mastery over circumstances is about understanding that we are the creators of our reality. Life does not happen to us, it happens through us. By mastering our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, we can shape the circumstances we encounter and turn challenges into opportunities. The outer world is always a reflection of the inner world, and when we learn to master our inner state, we gain true mastery over life itself. The silent creative force is the unseen power that shapes and governs our lives, quietly working beneath the surface of our consciousness. It is the force that brings thoughts, beliefs, and emotions into physical reality, yet it operates without noise or fanfare. Now, unlike the loud distractions of the outer world, this force works invisibly, steadily, and powerfully, creating the circumstances and experiences we encounter every day. Understanding this silent creative force allows us to harness it deliberately, rather than letting it operate unconsciously and shape our lives by default. At the heart of this force is our imagination. Every thought we entertain, every feeling we hold, every assumption we accept is a seed planted in the fertile soil of the subconscious mind. While we may not immediately see the effects of these inner workings, they are constantly shaping our external reality. The silent creative force does not discriminate between positive or negative thoughts. It responds equally to fear as it does to hope, to love as it does to hate. Whatever we focus on consistently becomes the blueprint for the life we experience. Because this creative force is silent, it often goes unnoticed. Many people are unaware that their inner world is shaping their outer world, attributing the events of their lives to luck, fate, or circumstances beyond their control. Yet every outcome, whether desired or undesired, is the result of this inner creative process. The beauty of this realization is that it places the power back in our hands. We do not need to battle against the external world or change others to improve our lives. Instead, we only need to become aware of the silent creative force within us and direct it with intention. The silent nature of this force is also what makes it so effective. It operates beneath our conscious awareness, meaning it doesn't require our constant attention or effort. Once a belief or thought pattern is established in the subconscious, the creative force takes over, working tirelessly to bring that belief into form. This is why persistence is key. Even if we do not immediately see evidence of change, the silent force is at work, aligning circumstances, people, and events to reflect our inner state. Mastering the silent creative force begins with mastering our thoughts and emotions. Every time we entertain a thought, we are giving instructions to this unseen force. If our thoughts are filled with doubt, fear, and negativity, we will unconsciously create circumstances that mirror those feelings. But if we deliberately focus on thoughts of success, health, love, and abundance, the silent force will bring those experiences into our lives. This is why it is essential to guard our thoughts and cultivate an inner environment that supports the life we want to live. One of the most profound aspects of the silent creative force is that it is always active, whether we are aware of it or not. Even when we are not consciously thinking about our goals or desires, the force continues to work based on the dominant thoughts and beliefs we hold. This means that our habitual thought patterns are crucial. If we allow ourselves to dwell on negativity, we are feeding that into the creative process. But if we make a habit of focusing on what we want, we are directing the silent force toward creating a better reality. The quiet, unseen nature of this force may make it easy to overlook, but it is the most powerful tool we have for shaping our lives. We do not need to shout, struggle, or force things to happen. The silent creative force responds to the calm, steady conviction of our beliefs and assumptions. The more we trust in this process and align our thoughts with what we desire, the more effortlessly life will unfold in our favor. Moreover, the silent creative force operates in harmony with the larger forces of the universe. It is not a battle between us and the world, rather, it is a cooperative process where our inner state aligns with the flow of life. When we understand this, we no longer feel the need to control or micromanage every detail. We can trust that, as long as we are directing our inner world with clarity and intention, the silent creative force will take care of the rest. In essence, this force is the engine behind all creation. It may be invisible, but it is undeniably powerful. By recognizing its presence and consciously directing it, we tap into our true creative potential, allowing us to shape our reality in alignment with our highest desires. In conclusion, the essence of life lies in understanding that we are the creators of our own reality. Through the power of imagination, belief in the unseen, the strength of assumption, and mastery over our inner world, we align with the silent creative force that shapes our experiences. Life doesn't happen to us, we are constantly creating it through our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. By taking responsibility for our inner state and consciously directing our focus, we can transform our circumstances and design a life that reflects our deepest desires. Thank you.